Hi, it's Andrew Warburg with Rennsteig Tools. Today we're going to address a problem that we've all run into if we're working on our old cars. Today we're working on a 1971 Dodge Charger. One of the things that you're always going to run into when you're working on an old car is the bolts just don't always want to come off. And you know, you use lubricating fluid, you use everything you can, but sometimes you're going to break a bolt. We were removing the transmission pan, automatic transmission pan at 14 volts, and basically these are just a standard 5/16 bolt, and they've been in there for what, 40 plus years, and this is what happens. I don't know if you can see up close, but this is a big stop when you're in the middle of a project. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you a really cool tool that's going to get you through this. These are quality made tools, and that is the difference. So let me show you first. Okay, so we've got this screw. And it's sheared off. It's actually sheared off pretty clean. That's not actually too bad. That actually is a benefit to us. So what we're going to do is we're going to file that down, and then we're going to use this really cool tool, which is a Rennsteig center punch. Now these come in 3 different sizes: small, medium, large, depending on the different applications that you're using. I think the best one for most automotive applications is the mid-size one, because it actually, due to the grade of the steel that we're usually working with, it's great on sheet metal, it's great on grade 5, grade 8 bolts, so it's really a all-around good one to use. This is the smaller one. I'm going to use this today just because I'm in a tight spot. Not a lot of room under this car. Of course, conveniently, this didn't happen at the shop, you know, on the lift, where this would be easy to get to. We're underneath the car. So that's another thing. You know, these are easy. These tools they're smaller to use and easier to use. I would normally be using a 2-piece center punch. Excuse me. 2 tools. A center punch. And this is going to help me get the drill started into the broken part of the bolt, and I would use a hammer. Now you can imagine how much room I've got underneath this charger. I've got about 10 inches, so this isn't gonna work. This will. We'll show you next. Keep watching. Andrew here, Rennsteig Tools, under our 1971 Dodge Charger. So we have a problem. We have a transmission pan, 14 bolts, of course 13 bolts come off, no problem. It's always the last one, snapped right off. I'm going to use my center punch. Now this is automatic. This is an automatic one. Basically, it is spring-loaded. I'm going to show you an example of how this works. Basically, just on the edge of the oil pan. This one's a pretty ugly oil pan, so we'll probably be replacing it. We could say goodbye to this. So there we go. Now it's adjustable. I'm adjusting. That's actually adjusting the tension on it. Just a divot, just a small divot. So let me show you how this works. So I'm going to set it here. I use my hand and I push in. To show you how we did this 20 years ago when I didn't have this, I'm using this, okay? Now, I don't know if you can tell, but this is slightly awkward, and I can't even see where the tip of this is because it's so far inside the bolt. Now, granted, I'd probably be better off if I took the pan off and I could see that, but oh, look at all that extra work I've got to do. When one press solves my problem. So, let's give it a try. Nice. Dead center. Just a little nick. That's all we need to get started with. We're going to really good. Drill into the small divot that we made. So what we've done is we've drilled a nice hole into the broken piece of the bolt that's still inside the transmission bell housing. So now we're going to find the correct bit
Now this is screw extractors like no other. I mean, this thing is I can't even tell you how many times I wish I had this back 20 years ago. But this is the Rennsteig tool, and basically what it is instead of being a spiral, it's got 4 very, very sharp edges all the way around it. Now, something I failed to tell you when I was using that center punch, Rennsteig, the guys in Germany, they're smart guys. Look what they did. They put a tip at the very tip of it. This is hardened. This thing's super hard. This thing's not gonna break. What that tip is for is that is a center punch tip. You use your hammer and you get it started. So maybe if you haven't run out and bought this yet, go buy it. But if you haven't, they got you covered. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it inside our piece. And now we are going to hammer it in. Once again, be smart, guys. Always wear eye protection. Hammers, chisels, anything, power tools of any sort, eye protection. I can feel that biting. I mean, this thing is solid. Okay. So our next step is to remove it. Okay. German there all the way. I highly recommend using a penetrating fluid to help you in this process. There you go, and there it is. There's our piece. That's a piece that was left over in the block, and you can see how our screw extractor removed it. So, wonderful tool. It's critical to getting a good center drilled hole. From Rennsteig Tools, we thank you.